Update. I'm not gay, but I think I'm in love with my roommate. Original post. Okay, do this as a throwaway account because I don't want anyone to find out who I am, and I know he frequently browses Reddit. I, 23 male, live with a guy 23 who I go to college with. And at first, we really didn't get along. He's a very flamboyant homosexual. I don't really agree with that kind of stuff, but he was willing to help me with some of my work, so I agreed to let him move in with me. Ever since then, he has changed a lot of things in my apartment and decorated it a lot. I don't mind this because it has actually made the place more homey and nice, but I just don't know what to do about him and the way being around him makes me feel. He is always so nice to me, even though I sometimes get so caught up in myself and insult him. I used to do it a lot because of how I was raised to not like homosexuals. I'm trying to break that habit. The way his face looks just makes me feel nice and happy, and I honestly don't know what to do about it. I'm not gay, at all, but he does make me feel a weird way, a way that I've never felt before, and I just don't know what to do about that. I've never felt this way before about anyone. Any advice? Now for the comments. This person says, biromanticism is a thing also. You may not feel sexual attraction, but a romantic attraction to men. And there's even more stuff that could be it. It could also be several other things. You genuinely love him as a friend or brother now in a way that you're not used to. You feel nurtured and cared for, and you associate those feelings with love and attraction. You're not used to being taken care of and are confused because it's making you feel good and happy. I suggest at least saying thank you in a way that he'll appreciate it. Do you know what he likes to eat and drink? Buy him something like that and just say, hey, I'm not great with words, but this is my way of saying thanks for all you do around here. Or even write it on a note and leave it in the fridge as a surprise. OP says, I think I might try this. I think he likes sweet things. I don't really know, but maybe leave some chocolate or stuff for him would be good. If you know you're not sexually attracted to him, it might be a factor that you're comforted through having support. I grew up in an abusive household. Anyone showing me any compassion meant I thought they were attractive. Turns out I was desperate for a normal human connection. It took me until my late 20s to realize that you can love someone without being sexually attracted to them. Now I'm in a loving relationship with a handful of close friends. Side note, not saying anything is wrong with same-sex attraction, just that I personally had a difficult time separating good emotions from romantic attraction. I would honestly start by sitting him down and genuinely apologizing for the times that you've insulted him and not do it again no matter how angry you may get. You need to learn how to get over your homophobia and be a better friend to him. If secular counseling therapy is an option where you are, I'd recommend that too. You deserve to explore these feelings with a professional. There's nothing wrong with being attracted to this man, and that doesn't make you gay. Lots of men throughout history, including ancient Greeks, slept with other men while still having wives. Sexuality is blurry and a spectrum. OP says, I've been trying to stop it and maybe apologizing to him. I don't know, it's just how I was raised. My parents and everyone around me until I moved out to college was extremely homophobic, to the point of wishing death on homosexuals. It's hard to drop those feelings when that was all you were raised with. This person says, you could be gay or bi. I think the first thing you need to do is work on overcoming your internalized homophobia, and if you feel comfortable, I think talking to him about it would be a good thing. You don't even have to tell him you have feelings for him. You can just say, hey, I was raised in an extremely homophobic environment, but I've recently started having feelings for someone that makes me think I could be gay or bisexual, but I'm not sure. And see if he's willing to talk to you about it. I'm bi, and I know that if someone I knew said that to me, I'd be happy to talk to them about the feelings they're having and help them figure it out or guide them towards resources. And I know it's a huge cliche, but even just Googling, am I gay, can give you a bunch of useful resources. The most important thing to know is that even if you are experiencing same-gender attraction, there's nothing wrong with you at all, no matter what you've been told your whole life. You are not dirty or unclean or unnatural. People like you have existed for hundreds of years and continue to exist and lead happy lives. There is absolutely nothing wrong with being gay or bi, and your feelings towards your roommate are not bad or sinful, even if your family doesn't support you. There is a whole worldwide community of amazing people who will welcome you with open arms. Now for the updates. Update 1. I know it's been 5 days or so, but here's somewhat of an update to my relationship with him. I'm sort of excited, I guess, so I'm sorry if this update is too messy. First, I openly want to say he is hotter than Ryan Reynolds and Henry Cavill. He said to deal with this first and foremost. Oh, and to mention that he's taller than me. He's 6'2" and I'm 5'10", Asian genes. He said that I may look like UWU cutesy boy. He didn't mind, it was just something funny to mention. He also mentioned, why do straight, yes, with the air quotes, dudes, always think of Ryan Reynolds or Henry Cavill as the hottest guys they know? I think he said that to calm me down. During the breakdown, I'll get to that later. Second, he told me that I should write this better. It looked like I wrote it in a way that it's jumbled, and I should probably go to therapy and check out if I have ADHD. It was so funny, he laughed so much after he reread the post. He mentioned like I was talking about his cats first, then about that accident that we both promised not to talk about anymore. He kind of jokingly got mad at me on that one. Or maybe he's actually mad, haha, sorry dude. Third, he also said it's not a drag show, it's the drag show. I was also wrong about Ticks. It's not a concert, just a show on like a bar. I thought all drag shows are like that since the first one we went to was the same. Back to the update. So first major update was after our midterms, we headed into the bar last Friday and the drag show started. I was kind of scared because he left me alone at the gay bar, and nothing bad about it, just I'm an awkward person, so I don't really like being alone in public space and stuff. And yeah, I know I said I'm popular, but that doesn't mean that I like bars in itself. I want to see people I know, i.g. don't like strangers sort of thing. You know how lost puppies look like? Yeah, that's how I was. But he did tell me to stay in one of those front seats. Then the surprise happened. It wasn't just a drag show, it was his. Oh goodness, it was so hot. He did a burr something French thing, I just call it stripping. It was so effing hot. I was turned on so bad, but I also have some questions. When did he prepare it? How much effort did he put in? And why at our midterms? So we went home and celebrated finishing our midterms. I got so drunk I'm a lightweight drinker. That's when I got the butterflies on my stomach. Surprise, I puked on him. Luckily, it was in the dorm room. He cleaned it up and led me to the bathroom, where I kept apologizing. I don't remember most of what happened after, so this is just from his side. He mentioned that as I was puking and apologizing, I accidentally mentioned my feelings. He said that I said, "I'm sorry for having feelings for you," or something like that. I don't remember it much. Well, after puking, he helped me change clothes and we slept together on the same bed the whole night. And why did he do that? He said that I was dramatically begging him to sleep next to me. Goodness, I hate being drunk. He also said that I was whispering the same thing while sleeping next to him. Okay, so then next I woke up to me using his chest as an effing pillow. Oh goodness, they were soft. I didn't want to leave because of that reason, and I was hungover really bad. And yeah, I was a mess, but I made a promise to myself to tell him after the show, just not specified when. So I contemplated the whole day, couldn't even eat at the same time with him, till last night where I posted the comment about how I told him everything. I kept crying like a damn kid, even though I'm supposed to be the older one. He tried to calm me down, but seeing how kind and caring he is to me just made it harder to breathe, and I just cried. I couldn't put into words, and I gave my phone to him and opened the 2 accounts that I had made. The post was deleted when opened on my other accounts, but not deleted when opened with my account. He started to cry and hug me. He said that we should give each other some space first to calm down. That's when I went into the living room, and I think he went through the post again. I panicked hard since he was so quiet, and his face was so anxious. I ran to the bathroom to calm myself alone. I also don't think he saw it on TikTok since he shut his phone off studying for the exams, but who knows? When I've calmed down, I talked with him about it. I said to him that I loved his every being. We've been roommates for quite a while now, and when him and my best friend, the guy that got beat up, both came out to me, it got me questioning my own sexuality. I started to develop feelings for him and love every little detail of him. I thought I was gay or bi, but not only did I have a girlfriend before, I only ever hooked up with women. So not gay, but maybe bisexual. But I'm not sure enough with being bisexual because I really tried to get off on gay porn, but sadly, it's as dead as a hangover frat dude. And that made me sure enough that I'm not into guys. I'm into him. But then I could only be confused, not into guys in general. I also came from traditional families, and yes, we might not be homophobic, but we were not exactly raised to be open-minded to this. Yes, I'm into him, but that I don't know if he's into me. Or if he's into me, why would I make him take a chance, a risk for a relationship that has a possibility it won't work out in the end? He hugged me again and started to address some things. First, he didn't blame me for what happened at the frat house. I wasn't the person that beat up her other friend. I wasn't the one who tried to be touchy with him at said moment. I wasn't the one that sent him to the hospital. He was happy I was there for him, that I defended them and helped them out in however way that I could. Now for the sad part. He said that he likes me, but he's scared of what's going on with me. This happened before already. A straight guy fell for him, led him on for 5 months, and then dipped. Like, yes, he does know how it feels to be confused about yourself, but at the same time, if he gets too serious about someone who's figuring himself out, he could get hurt if they decide to run. He agreed with what I've said in my post. He wants me to know more about myself first before we go to an actual relationship. So yeah, he rejected me, but he did give me an ultimatum. We're not in a relationship, but we're more of in a trial period. He said that if we both wanted to, we could go on dates, have sex, and be monogamous. We both won't see other people other than each other, but we're not official. He's going back to his home for Thanksgiving. I mentioned it on the other account, and I guess I can learn about myself first at the time. He wants me to learn about myself for a month first. Then we'll see if we're ready or really want this. He said that he'll help me out in my journey, and if I can love myself at the least, or at least learn to accept how I felt more, then we'll start going out officially. That was last night that we had the ultimatum, and right now, oh goodness, things have changed heavily. He's very touchy with me when we're alone. He gave me a footsie and I was heavily turned on. He's also very dirty. Every single time he whispers something to me, and he likes to call me boy in a sexy way, like shit, calm down. And he totally knows how to turn my gears. I'm like, how the F does he know what to say? And whenever he could, he does the Kabaden thing to me. And goodness, I hate tall people. I thought this was a trial period. Not that I don't mind, but damn, let me catch my breath. I'm joking, he's very touchy, but still in a respectful way. We also hooked up to test if I don't like doing it with him. I actually love it. He doesn't have to know, I guess, makes me look desperate. He wants to go with me to a train museum and he knows I love them so much. It would be so much fun. We're also planning on going to an amusement park together. For now, after we did it, we ate dinner outside. He's not touchy or playful there. He respects that I just came out and doesn't want to do anything in public. He's really thoughtful of me, so yeah, even if we're not in a relationship and not dating, we are going on dates now. I'm happy enough with this. And yeah, it's very detailed, but there's more details that I left out. He said not to include those, and I respect his privacy. Just use your imagination for those. Tomorrow, he's forcing me to watch the whole Heartstopper Season 1 and every gay series there is. He's held me hostage and never letting me go, watching them together, but in turn, I made him compromise to watch Marvel movies with me in other days. For my sexuality, I really want to label it, but it's not like if anyone asked me and I answered, I'm demisexual or pansexual, they're going to understand it. they will still assume that I'm gay or something. So yeah, but for now, I'm just prioritizing taking care of him and having a safe place for him. I want to make sure we work and that my feelings are real. Not exactly that, but more, I'm sure, with myself. He's not pressuring me to do anything like that, but like he wants me to figure myself out before I officially date him. Final update. So I just wanted to update you guys on my relationship with my roommate. We're engaged. Just kidding, just kidding. I'm dating him officially. Hallelujah. Dating him even low-key is so much fun. I've told my closest friends, and much to my surprise, they took it well. They've known all along. I mean, it's a relief, but couldn't they just pretend they didn't know? Ha ha ha. So this Christmas, he brought me home to his family, because I can't come home to mine this year. He introduced me to them. He has a younger sister, an older brother, and 2 loving parents who were quite, well, excited for him. Especially his mom, who was way too happy for him. She was so loving and caring, I felt like I gained 300 pounds on Christmas alone. His dad warned me not to hurt him. I'm jealous. I wish my family was like that, haha. And his siblings were fun to hang out with. Anyway, we're still seeing each other no matter what happens, and I'm happy with that. And I tried the other way, but which hurts bad, by the way. But it was so much fun doing anything with him. I just wish this relationship would never end, and it stops here, you know. Haha. Anyway, thanks a lot for the support from me and my roommate. Story 2. Am I the a-hole for kicking my brother and his family out after he tried to give me a whore-avention? I'm having a hard time feeling remorseful, and I'm unwilling to apologize for calling my brother out and for asking him to vacate my property. I have given him many chances to stop this behavior, and my brother won't stop shaming me for having been a stripper because I got my prestigious job. He has been making offhand remarks about me having been a stripper since he found out 6 years ago. He gets on these long tirades about how I am ungodly, unholy, and that the sins that I've committed can never be forgiven unless I repent and let Christ into my heart. I'm not religious. I'm certainly not a Christian and will never be one, but my brother refuses to accept this. Also, I only started stripping because his drug and gambling addiction ruined mine and our parents' lives. He remortgaged their house, took out loans and several credit cards in our parents' name, and even sold our parents' identity to his former dealer. I didn't know how bad the situation was until I came home one day from the university and found strangers living in our house. My father was too embarrassed to let me know that they were living out of their car. They also never reported my brother to the police because my parents didn't want him back in prison. Last time he went in for 2 years, me and my parents were blackmailed to pay his prison debt. So when I found out my parents, baby sister, and baby brother were living out of their car, I decided to work as a stripper. I made good money, and with that money I was able to house my family, pay off my parents' debt, my brother's debt, and put my younger siblings through college and the university. During that time, I also paid for his rehab, and he got his shit together. Now he is happily married, employed, sober, and with a child on the way. FYI, I paid for his wife's in vitro treatments. Last Sunday, our parents invited some people over for a big catered dinner. My brother and his wife thought this would be the perfect time to turn into what he called a whorevention and embarrass me in front of all the guests. I completely lost it. I was so enraged that I spent most of the evening cussing him and my sister-in-law out. I reminded him that I would never have been a stripper if he hadn't tried to ruin us. On Monday, I drew up an eviction notice and sent it to him. I want to cut all ties with him and his family. I am truly done with him. Almost everyone is telling me that I'm right in being angry, but that it's terrible to kick him and his wife out when they are due to have their first child in 9 weeks. My parents are begging me to forgive him, and honestly, I feel like I have been and I am being reasonable. I've given them 90 days. I am done being called the whore of Babylon and the downfall of mankind. Apologies for the link, but I thought that I needed you all to know as much as possible, and I feel like I'm losing my mind. I had to repost this because the moderators locked it down for breaking the rules. I've edited it and reposted it for judgment. Thanks. Edit for clarity, I stripped for 5 years and used the money from that to claw myself and family out of debt and pay for my brother's rehab. I haven't stripped in over a decade. I paid for my sister-in-law's in vitro and bought the house my brother and his wife live in with my nurse money, which is why he doesn't feel bad about asking me for help now, because this money wasn't made from sinning. Also, my sister-in-law is just as bad as he is. That's all for today. If you're enjoying this story, please like the video and share your thoughts in the comments section down below. Thank you.